What up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. It's CB, well, CJBK, Chris, the targeted individual. So, yeah, I like today I decided I was going to spend the night at mom's house. She always happy to see her son come home. I don't get to see her every day or whatever because I live in a whole different borough and whatnot. So, couple of things on my mind today. Y'all probably seen me, enjoying working, making my deliveries and whatnot. But I just gotta reiterate. I have to reinforce, or I just have to just make sure my story was heard clearly. But I'm going to skip over all the melodramatics and I'm gonna just go straight into the knife cut details. Basically, if you sitting in your home by yourself and you've never been somebody to do anything to anybody, you never been someone to talk trash about anybody, and even if you might have been like walking down the street and you said, damn, there's mad people on the sidewalk, they taking up the sidewalk, whatever, that does not give anyone the right to infringe on your life. That gives no one the right to use technology to basically hack your biofrequencies, the neural activity of your data, of your brain. They try to extort you with the thoughts. Your thoughts are frequencies. Extort you and then try to force you to become someone you don't want to become. That gives no one the right to do that. And even if you were a noisy neighbor, right? And if nobody, and especially if nobody ever came and told you that you need to, quiet down, that gives no one the right to basically use technology and basically infringe on your human rights. We're not even talking about United States because this targeted individual electronic harassment stuff, this is a global thing. No wonder why Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning fled the country. No wonder they left the country, because they knew that. I think the government probably already know that people out in these streets already got this stuff. And then, right now I just got an API call. Somebody just tried to call me as I'm doing this video, like literally just now. So I just gotta reiterate this. How is it like making any sense to any of these people that's taking part in this well, they're being duped, right? They're being told it's a secret society, but they don't realize their brain data is being uploaded to a server which they don't have access to, and then their brain data is literally going to be sent to somebody else who's above the ones who's actually controlling the electronic devices. They don't know this yet, but God is going to reveal it later on in the worst time possible. Trust me. God has already been letting me know, don't even worry about, don't even stress what they doing to my body. Don't even stress what they doing to my money. Don't even stress what they doing to me while I'm trying to do my job properly. Don't even stress the people in the street that walk by and, do their little subliminal, street theater, or little statements that they make or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I never had nothing to hide. Anybody who ever known me personally knows Chris ain't never done nothing to nobody, and he's always been an open book. I don't have nothing to hide. And look, I just got chills when I said it. That lets you know God is already with me right now. So I'm just, oh, that one felt good too. So I'm just letting everybody know you actually do have a right to not have someone come into your brain, whether it should have been consented in the first place. No one should ever be able to just gain access into your brain and then just basically say, don't say nothing. We using this as like a secret. But you don't know. You just let somebody trick you into having full access to your brain, and you just said, okay. You just said, okay. So you literally don't really know that your very own identity, your very own, like the things that make you you are not safe either. Like everyone's laughing at me. Like everyone's laughing, ha ha, kiki, you know. But at the same time, I'm just like, y'all literally don't understand why God said, God said, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Because trust me, the smear campaigns and the lies that they're spreading about me is just astronomically ridiculous, you know. And then on top of that, they're basically using, you know, power surges to create like enormous, you know, electromagnetic fields coming from the power outlets in the walls and stuff. So then it could basically destroy the protective sheath over my nerve endings, you know, in my body. And then also they basically have the capabilities to send, you know, to seek out certain cells in the body and then turn up the frequencies to cause the cells to vibrate so vigorously that they're basically destroying the DNA structure of the cell. And then that creates pain for one, but then two, the cell can also become cancerous from those frequencies from which they, you know, are directed. Now, if you want some more information, I could literally show you 1, patents, 2, scientific study, and I'm talking about peer reviewed by like several doctors using extremely low frequencies to either rupture vein or vessel or blood vessels within, you know, animals and stuff like that. I could show you documents and articles of how, you know, scientists in Japan basically learned how to turn thoughts, dreams, everything that we create in our mind, because everything has a frequency. Everything that enters our mind is basically information that is in the form of frequencies, right? So they actually, you know, there is a way you can actually take those frequencies, decode them using like a EEG and an MRI scan, and then you have the right proper, you know, computer, you know, algorithm. Look, and then they're trying to shut me up because they're basically trying to stop my heart. There's a way that they can decode it and then show it like a full image or a movie on a screen so that they can actually see your memories. They can see your thoughts. They can see, you know, anytime you ever put in a password or a PIN code, they can see whatever you see. So I'm just thinking to myself, here's the part that really gets me though. Here's the part that really gets me. How could the streets really be cool with the idea that someone can actually see everything you see and then be able to save that data to a cloud or a server that you probably don't have access to? And then even if you do have access to it, why would you want that type of information available so that someone else could possibly hack it and then take that information and use it against you in the future? I mean, you might be cool with them doing, you know, helping you out with whatever schemes you got going. I don't know. I normally, look, I'm not going to lie. I ain't never been a snitch a day in my life. I turned a blind eye to a lot of things, you know. God have mercy on my soul. I have turned a blind eye to a lot of things. But I've never allowed what someone else is doing to infringe on my life. I've never been somebody to basically mind anyone else's business. That's never been me. That's never been me. So it just amazes me how all of a sudden, like, I've lived in New York City for 32 years. I went to school in North Carolina for 2 of them, but still lived in New York City for just about all my life. All of a sudden, I get my very first apartment. Even though it was kind of a scandal how I got it, but but I get my very first apartment, right? And I'm enjoying myself, I'm getting used to it. I'm working. I got 2 jobs trying to handle my own apartment, and all of a sudden, I don't know, for whatever reason, people in my new building, in the new borough, they basically just decide, you know what, we going to take advantage of him. He lived by himself. They said I was a noisy neighbor, but I've never played loud music after 8 p.m. That's never been me. And then they're like, oh, he don't even really speak to nobody. And I'm like, this is New York City. How many people speak to everybody? Do you know how many people move into neighborhoods and don't necessarily speak to anybody? And they'll be living there for about like 5 to 10 years and nobody really know them, but they know that they don't do nothing to nobody. So I'm just thinking to myself, how is it that all of a sudden, of all the years I spent living in New York City, I moved to a different borough, and then all of a sudden now I'm being wrongfully persecuted because I guess somebody have some power trips or power issues or whatever. I don't know. Whatever happened to them when they were younger, I don't know. But yeah, and to be honest, like, I never wanted to know about this technology. I never wanted to know about, that there's secret societies or whatever. I never wanted to know any of this shit. Never wanted to know any of this. All I was trying to do was live in my own apartment for the first time. Like, not a room, not a shared apartment, but my very own first apartment. That's all I was trying to do. Anybody who knows me knows I ain't never been a problem to nobody. And it just bothers me. It bothers me, but at the same time, it's just like, well, God already let me know that the world is wicked anyway. So I'm just like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why do you have to push your lifestyle onto someone else? Why do you have to push your lifestyle onto someone else? And then on top of that, they're like, you're supposed to be a police officer. I'm like, what the fuck you mean I'm supposed to be a police officer? I never wanted to be a police officer. No disrespect to all the, good cops out there, because, even y'all know that there's probably some cops doing some messed up stuff out there. But, I no disrespect to them, but I just never really wanted to become a police officer. I never wanted to become a police officer. I might have wanted to join the military at one point, but I never wanted to, become a cop. Nothing against it. I respect the profession, but I'm just saying, I just didn't want to do it. So, but then at the same time, when you got someone who's trying to torture you because you don't want to become a cop, literally every single day, 24/7, every day since like October of 2020, I'm bombarded. I mean, straight up bombarded with excess electromagnetic fields, dirty electricity. Like, I am literally bombarded. Hell, my genitalia is like constantly like, it feels like, it feels, you know what it feels like? to have your testicles electrocuted, like low key electrocuted, is almost like if someone like did the little nut check where they like tapped you in your nuts, and then it's like but the pain just doesn't go away. It's just consistent, like all day, or for as long as you're inside of an apartment or some type of room somewhere. Well, actually, no. They basically just use whatever electricity is in the area, because you know what, they're tracking you. They're using they have access to your bio frequency, so they just basically know wherever you're going. Plus, the environment that we're in, New York City. New York City is basically like a bowl of electric smog. So no matter where you go, they know where you at. Yeah, I ran out of space, so I had to delete some stuff. But yeah, basically, New York City is like a big bowl of electric smog. So no matter where you go, they can track you, especially if they've already, taken possession of your pineal gland. At least that's what I believe, because um, one of the first things that they said via the synthetic telepathy was, your pineal gland is gone, your pineal gland is gone. And then the exact feeling I remember, it like, imagine taking a needle, right, and someone piercing a needle through like a tissue or a chunk of meat, but inside of your brain. That's exactly what it felt like. And I mean, I could go back to some earlier, the early months of all this stuff, where it felt like, basically, like a laser point just drawing something along my scalp or whatever. um though I can't see anything, but apparently I've been finding out on the internet, that there is some type of like, I don't know, there's some type of uh there's something that's literally like very light drawings that's done on people's bodies and whatnot, almost like a marking. You like I don't know if you've ever if any of you have ever heard of, certain markings that burglars or sex offenders, they mark some people's homes, right? They mark some people's homes to let other people know that this place doesn't have like an alarm system, or these people, they basically don't be home at nighttime or whatever. They have special markings. I mean, you can find all this stuff out on like Vice TV, Viceland TV. I forgot the name of the network, but yeah, Vice Network, documentaries. There's all kinds of stuff. And like I said, like I never cared to really be getting into anybody's business, knowing what anybody do. I normally just do my own thing, and I'm just over here, but I just can't get why someone feels like they need to basically include me in something that everybody else is doing. I never cared to want to be a part of any of this. I never cared to want to know about any of this. I was just minding my own damn business, just trying to pay my rent and learn how to just live on my own. That's all I was doing. And I bet you anybody who knew me for extended periods of time, or anybody who knew me for many years, and they see this, they'll be like, I believe Chris, because Chris don't really do nothing to nobody. So if Chris is saying that somebody's doing something to him for no reason, I would believe him, because people know me. People know me. They know that I would listen to them talk about whatever, their situation is, and I would actually give them a fair shot and believe in what they were talking about. So I would hope that somebody would give me a fair shot. So yeah, see, my mom just walked in, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off the phone and show her some love. Peace, y'all.